I'm gonna start this video off by saying fuck ICE and fuck Donald Trump. Now, why am I saying that? Well, because I have a brain and I'm also a little left-leaning when it comes to politics. I have plenty of gay friends. I have plenty of trans friends. I believe the queer community deserves bacon. I believe the queer community deserves basic human rights like marriage equality, access to healthcare, and to live in this world without violence or stigma. Very hot takes, I know. I wanted to add that beginning because I don't want you to get the wrong opinion about me. I have spent a lot of time researching a topic that caught my eye. One night while I was doom scrolling, a video from a content creator named Ashlyn, who liked to go by Baby Bangs Girl, showed up on my algorithm. The video was basically saying, "Hear ye, there's a new pedophile in town." The alleged pedophile in the video was a content creator named Yogurito3 or 916 Chaine on TikTok. Ashlyn doesn't just call this guy a pedophile, she brings some evidence.
Hey y'all, this guy likes minors and actually had with a minor, so roll the tapes.
But you the real art, I'm gonna No, I'm not doing that. For you the real art, I'm in a sack for the weekend. Let me know. You're funny. Oh, I know, right? Wait, how old are you? How old is you? 18. Ugh. I'm 15, but low-key only 3 years. And you're too popular. I'd keep it on the down low. What you thinking about this weekend? Oh, I thought that... Nah, I don't know. You could scam me. Dude, why are you using these emotes? What's your number? Yo! This is a picture of Chaine lying in bed next to a minor. Allegedly. According to Ashlyn's video, the girl with green hair is the minor. And her pants seem to have been taken off. In the original video, she's not censored. I'm gonna censor. Nothing's showing. It's just weird. I don't like it. A caption covering the minor's face says, "The minor he had sex with." That's how we know that that's definitely the minor, alright? You can't get confused here. In the next clip, Ashlyn shares a screenshot that the girl with green hair had with Chaine. I'm forgetting his name for some reason. Chaine? Chase? It's Chaine. Sorry. This phone call took an unspecified amount of time after the alleged intercourse.
I didn't even block you.
Then why did you delete all traces of us?
Because it's scary.
Well, it wouldn't be so scary if you weren't such a
You can be
weirdo.
bored and just do it anyways, right? Put yourself in my shoes.
What, cracking a minor?
I would have loved to hear the entire conversation. I don't know why they cut it, but it's cut, unfortunately. But from what Ashlyn provided, the other person on the call, the guy, sounds exactly like Chaine. And also the fabric that the phone's camera was pointing at looks exactly like the pants that were next to the girl with green hair in the picture. The reason I share this juxtaposition is because Ashlyn doesn't really provide any information that could help us determine that these two instances are from the same people. Like obviously that's Chaine in the picture, and obviously that's, well, I say obviously, it sounds exactly like Chaine on the phone, but I don't know the girl with green hair's voice. These could be two different instances, right? These could be two different girls having an issue with Chaine, but I can maybe use this evidence. Of course, Ashlyn is letting us know that these two are connected, that the girl calling Chaine is the girl with green hair, but she's just saying that. So with that, and then me being able to see the fabric that looks exactly like the pants, it's the same texture, the same color scheme, everything, I can make the conclusion that these may be connected. The only problem is that keeps showing back up in my head is that the fabric, I'm sounding like a broken record. The fabric comparison could just be a coincidence, especially the camera being so close up to it. I don't know. It could be two separate things that look exactly like each other, you know, like a very fluffy pants and a very fluffy blankets with the same clothes, similar enough color scheme. Unfortunately, it is possible because of how vague this is, or I should say the lack of information, the lack of evidence that we are provided. You may notice, you know, maybe right now, that I'm being a bit brutal with Ashlyn's evidence. You'll soon understand why. Back to the call. That shit was fucking terrible. What the fuck? That does not make Chaine look good at all. In the call, the girl claims that Chaine deleted all traces of them, and then he immediately corroborates this by saying that he did it because it was scary. What was scary? I don't know. If he truly believed that he was doing something legal, then what's the problem? You already know how the call ends, but I'll explain it for the deaf. I'm dumb as hell. The deaf. What the fuck? The call ends by Chaine asking the girl to put herself in his shoes. And then she clocks him by saying, "What? Cracking a minor?" Then he hangs up immediately. Again, it's not looking good for Chaine. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. He attempted to bury everything behind him, I guess in fear of losing his platform over the situation. But honestly, I don't know if there's much he can do to lose his fan base. Dude, the amount of young women I have seen fiending for this man, even after he says something diabolical, maybe a bit concerning. But let's not skip ahead. We'll get there. Ashlyn also provides a screenshot of Chaine's comment under the minor's post that was calling him out. I must add that I could not find this post, and I actually could not find this account, so I couldn't check any of this information on my own. Sorry, I got a text message. That's why you heard Navi in the background. I have no clue what the post actually contained, but according to Ashlyn, it was just calling Chaine out for being a pedophile, presumably with the same evidence that Ashlyn's video contained, but it's just that, a presumption. I have no clue because Ashlyn keeps things very vague. But in this screenshot of the minor's comment section, Chaine commented the minor's street address and nothing else. I would have to agree with Baby Banks Girl here, because why would he do this? The only reason someone would dox like this is to intimidate. You're making yourself look worse, Chaine. You're making yourself look worse. Ashlyn then provides several screenshots of other victims coming forward. Bro swears this is AI when the same shit almost happened to me. Okay, so this is someone coming out with a similar experience as the girl with the green hair. The second screenshot reads, "Girl, oh my god, I seen your TikTok about Chaine, and let me tell you, a few years ago we went to the same church and this motherfucker would..." Okay, I don't know why I read motherfucker like that. This motherfucker would be all up on everyone. One time we were outside and motherfucker kept trying to kiss me and touch me. Mind you, we were at church and he got kicked out for trying to do the same stuff to other girls. Okay, alright. So this DM alleges a serious pattern of non-consensual touching and harassment at a church, which, you know, it speaks to his character. However, because it lacks dates or ages, it doesn't actually support the specific accusation of pedophilia. I get if Ashlyn is trying to show us his character, but she should probably say this instead of lumping it in with the pedophilia claim. Overall, it's not terrible evidence. Unlike the third screenshot. I talked to him when I was 13. What is that? Am I getting a whiff of confirmation bias? Ashlyn, you are including a message from a burner account that said, I talked to him when I was 13. We don't know when this happened. We don't know how old Chaine was, and we don't even know what talk to even means. You know, I'm not stupid, you know, when I say I'm talking to somebody. But from a fucking burner account? Was it a peer-to-peer conversation from years ago? We don't know, because it wasn't vetted by you. By you. You didn't check. When you throw unverified, vague comments into an evidentiary video, you're doing the opposite of strengthening your case. Why did you do that? And it continues into the next screenshot. I just woke up. Gosh, Lordy, like I know you active. I'm tired. Why though? What'd you want to do? Cause I'm me horny. Oh my god, dude. Like, hey man, I was young once. I could go back to some text that I sent when I was 20 years old, and I'm like cringing, but I've never sent anything like that, dude. That guy is off his rockers. Relax, buddy. So Ashlyn shows this screenshot of a highly inappropriate text thread and slaps a caption over it that says, "This is a minor he's texting." But let's look closely at the image. Remove Ashlyn's caption. Thank you, me. What do we see? Well, we see an explicit text, but we don't see a profile, an age, or a date. We only know that it's a minor because Ashlyn told us it is. Because the earlier evidence, like the picture with Chaine in the bed, was so incredibly strong, our brains are primed to believe anything else presented to us. We stop asking for receipts because we've already convicted him in our minds. But if we're going to make or consume content about topics this serious, we have to separate our belief in someone's guilt from our standard for actual truth. Slapping text over a cropped DM is not proof, Ashlyn. I had something completely different planned for the rest of this video. Researching this topic was very difficult because nobody was responding to my DMs. Not that they have to, but Chaine's story had plot holes. Ashlyn's story had plot holes. It was just a mess, dude. So, I mean, I just had to think outside the box to wade through all this bullshit that these two are spewing at each other. My video on this topic was going to be much longer than what it is now, like 20 minutes longer, because I needed as much evidence as possible to explain a particular dilemma here. But then I discovered something huge when I almost finished this video. This discovery was so massive to me that I had to go back to the drawing board and redo everything, dude. The final piece of information in that video that Ashlyn uploaded was about Chaine's alleged ex, who I call Sofia.
Here's his ex-girlfriend saying that she is going to file a police report on him.
At first, this final portion of the video stumped me. Ashlyn shares a screenshot of a DM from Sofia, and she claims that Sofia was filing a police report on Chaine. The reason this stumped me was because of the DM Ashlyn showed us. It reads, "I'm making a police report on you guys, and if you guys have proof, you show it to the police, and on those message doesn't show he agree. And I need all your info because I'm making police report and reposting your TikTok right now." Now, I know that English was fucking terrible. We're gonna need to do some deciphering here. But I got you. Let's break it down. The beginning literally states, "I'm making a police report on you guys." This implies that Sofia is filing a police report on Ashlyn's group, not Chaine. And then she goes on to defend Chaine in the literal next line. Dude, all these things in the message are a literal contradiction to the words that came out of Ashlyn's mouth. I even wondered how Ashlyn knew that Sofia was Chaine's ex-girlfriend. I called Sofia Chaine's alleged ex-girlfriend because I don't know where Ashlyn got that information from. Nothing in the DM states that. Nothing on Sofia's account shows Chaine in her past. And also, Chaine has never, at least from what I've seen, spoken about her. How does she know that they dated? Ashlyn certainly didn't provide any information, so I'm not sure. So my question is, where did Ashlyn gather this information from? Even though this wasn't making sense to me, I still doubted my literacy. I thought maybe she just had broken English. Maybe English wasn't her first language. Maybe it's not my first language either, but maybe English wasn't her first language. It's possible, right? Because why else would Sofia want to repost a video that she disagrees with, right? So everything before the bottom line, Sofia was kind of attacking them, but then she says, I'm reposting your video. From my understanding, it's not common for somebody to repost a video that they disagree with, right? Maybe somebody can inform me that I'm incorrect here. I also know for a fact that the conversation continued after this initial DM because of the terribly cropped screenshot. At the bottom of the screenshot, you can see it say today and sometime in the afternoon. So perhaps the conversation continued and Ashlyn got some more information, like more precise information on Sofia's intentions. It's possible, I thought. But then I started to dive deeper. I felt like Ashlyn was gaslighting me and everyone else who watched that video. So I said, fuck it. Let me go ask Sofia myself. I sent Sofia a DM on July 17th, 3:30 p.m. asking if they were really Chaine's ex-girlfriend. Days passed and I expected to be left undelivered, like Ashlyn and Chase have done to me. But on July 21st at 1:39 a.m., she accepted my message request and replied with, "No, I'm not his ex. Oh, neither of those girls are crazy. I got a lot of proof Jesus, of how they got other people in trouble because they don't want to be with them after they find out how old they are and all they want is drugs." Look, man, give me a break with the reading here. There was not a single use of punctuation, not a single comma, not a single period. What the fuck, brother? Sofia makes some interesting claims about Ashlyn's group just getting some people in trouble and even says that Ashlyn uses drugs. Presumably, I did know this actually, and it's just weed, at least. I think it's just weed. She made a TikTok talking about how she's 8 days clean, and it was talking about weed. So I don't know if she does hard drugs. I don't think so, but you know. So I don't know if she's just calling marijuana drugs. Like, come on, it's not that serious. So at that point, might as well call alcohol drugs. Come on, dude. Yeah, sure, technically it is, but be for real. Those are all interesting, but the most important part of the message was literally the first line. No, I'm not his ex. Ashlyn, you lied. You specifically said,
here's his ex-girlfriend saying that she is going to file a police report on him.
When you knew that wasn't true. You lied about Sofia being Chaine's ex, and you lied about her filing a police report on him. You called Chaine stupid because some of his defenses are just hearsay.
Well, I finally have my innocence. Someone she knows personally.
This means nothing. In a court of law, this is hearsay. Do you know how the court of law works? Or are you just that dumb?
You do this when over half of your evidence against him is also hearsay. You are upset because there isn't enough attention over this whole scandal. You are upset because people are defending him. But how are you so blind to the fact that this is your fault? Your views on life have given you a confirmation bias. You are a person who always believes in the victims.
I will always believe victims.
Because of this belief, you have amalgamated possible real evidence with hearsay, nothing burgers, and straight up lies. You say that we should protect these young women.
Just spreading this awareness because my last video only got about 20K, and I genuinely don't think that's enough for his audience that is almost 1 million. Let's protect these young girls out there.
Then why are you doing the opposite? Because of this absolute dumpster fire of an investigation you have done, you have allowed Chaine to defend himself in a very valid way.
And to these random bitches who keep saying bullshit about me, y'all are fucking dumb. Y'all keep saying when I was this, when I was that. How about me? You think I was born 18, bitch? Y'all are fucking slow, like dead ass. And this one dumbass story I heard, he said he wanted to do this with me, he said he wanted to do that with me, but it was 4 years ago. Bitch, how old was I when I was... Bro, how old was I 4 years ago? 14. You fucking dumbass, like...
Dude, Chaine unfortunately has a point here. And it's your fault. It comes from your evidence. You have provided several screenshots of victims coming forward that either have no context to back up their claims, or the validity of their claims are completely dismantled because of the plot holes in their narratives. You are calling Chaine a pedophile, and you have the gall to get upset when people don't believe you, when over half of your evidence contains hearsay, plot holes, and lies. I hate it when men say that all women do is spread false allegations, and I'm sure you do too. Then why are you trying your hardest to prove them right? I was struggling to wrap my head around this discovery. How could I believe Ashlyn, like any evidence she gives me, if she was so willing to lie like this? I was truly starting to believe that she was so woke that she might be dumb. I started doing some digging on Ashlyn because I didn't know who she was, and I realized she's been in a lot of controversies. I've learned that she simply hates men. She makes it known by constantly repeating it. She made a video mocking Men's Mental Health Month, and she also doubled down and released another video trying to defend her point because of all the backlash she received. Okay, and here lies the ultimate tragedy of how Ashlyn handled this situation. Even when highlighting genuine red flags, she completely destroyed her credibility as a messenger. When you spend your platform posting content that mocks Men's Mental Health Month and belittles male audiences, you completely alienate a enormous demographic that you should be trying to inform. Male viewers who see that content are going to view your allegations not as an objective search for truth, but as a biased hit piece. And you did this all on your own. And when you combine that alienating attitude with sloppy, unverified screenshots, you give people every reason in the world to dismiss you. Advocacy requires integrity. When you trade that in for internet rage bait, you don't just harm your own reputation, you do a massive disservice to the very victims you claim to represent. The same way I make fun of the manosphere, I'll make fun of you. Do better, Ashlyn. Now that I got all of that out of my chest, I agree with her. She makes it hard to do so, but Chaine doesn't do a very good job at defending himself either. That Chaine response video I showed you where he was able to properly deflect some of Ashlyn's evidence actually contained one of the worst responses I've ever seen.
Not gonna lie, I've had it. Here's the story y'all been wanting this whole entire fucking time. I love my supporters and my supporters only. To the bitches who want to be a part of something so bad and say bullshit about me, here it is. No, I do not like minors. If I cut hair that make me a barber, fuck no it doesn't. And what, bitch? Y'all say y'all got proof. Proof of what? Where's the proof of me doing it? Let me know when you got that.
What the fuck was that analogy? Hold on. Did he insinuate that having sex with a minor once, okay, that's important here in his analogy, doesn't make that person a pedophile? Shut the fuck up, dude. He is trying to argue that doing an action once doesn't define the person you are. But Chaine, we're not talking about a career path here. If you cut hair, you cut hair, okay? Slapping a semantic argument onto a severe accusation like this doesn't clear your name. It just sounds like you're making excuses for your behavior. Notice what he also doesn't deny. He asks, where is the proof of me doing it? He doesn't deny the damning photo of him in bed because he can't. He just tries to move the goalpost of what proof means. Well, Chaine, you are a very lustful man who believes that women are nothing more than something to fuck. Yeah, I saw your live stream.
Dada. I like when people call me Dada, man. I'm like, yeah, I'm Dada, man. Yeah, you like to call me Dada, man. You low-key gay. Well, you're low-key annoying, so yeah, so just stop, please. Why are guys so lustful nowadays? Well, if you guys really think about it, what else do girls have to offer than their cooch? Exactly. If men never cared about cooch, what do they have to offer us men if they never had cooch? Nothing. But it's cool. It's cool. Y'all give it to us so that we still go for you, you know? Type shit. But that's not the point. I'm talking about like in general. If y'all chose to not give any of us men the desires of our heart of like SE, you know, damn near no guy would like talk to you guys. What if men didn't have dick? What would they have to offer as girls? If you guys think about it, how would you women survive without us men? Like, damn near, when you guys go to a job site, who do you guys see working? It's good. If we didn't have dick, it's good. Y'all wouldn't have a world. So come on now, like, get with the program. Hold on, what's going on with this cute white girl? I have a throat, you have a dick. You know what that means? Oh, what the heck? You're not real. Sorry, guys. Well, Lisa, vanilla perfume. Yeah, I don't care.
Personally, I'm only in bed with a woman who has no pants on if 1, we fucked, or 2, they are my significant other. Why are you in bed with a minor who has no pants on? You believe that women only have one thing to offer. Those are your words, buddy, not mine. Man, this video kind of sucked to make. I'm gonna be honest. I felt like everyone was an absolute moron. My God. Dude, I was losing my mind. Okay, beyond Ashlyn and Chaine's stupidity, both Ashlyn and Chaine's fans were also showing signs of mental impairment. Ashlyn's fans love her so much that they completely ignored the literal lie in her first video. Actually, that video contained over 700 comments. I could not find a single comment on that post talking about the lie. Like, there's no, okay, hold on. There's no fucking way 700 people didn't read. Do people not read anymore? I'm gonna start a social experiment. I'm gonna make a video talking shit about Obama, okay? So in this video, I'm just gonna say that Obama's all over the Epstein files. boom. And then while I'm lying my ass off, I'm just gonna on screen flicker a whole bunch of Donald Trump Epstein mentions and see how many conservatives I can get to believe my video. Because dude, I don't think people read, but I think she's smart about it too, because the things she said were correlating to the screenshot unto the final one. So then maybe people were reading the first ones like, okay, she doesn't seem to be lying, and then like, boom, I'm allowing this last one. Nobody's gonna read the last one. But I think that social experiment would be pretty fun. Someone should do that. But not only were Ashlyn's fans illiterate, Chaine's fans were as well, but they were also fucking stupid. Dude, they wanted to defend him so badly, but they can't read. Like, all they had to do was say, hey, Miss Baby Banks girl, that last screenshot you showed was not saying what you said it was saying. But no, not a single one of them did. No, instead they just fucking spouted absolute bullshit out of their mouths like, actually, Romeo and Juliet laws. You stupid motherfucker. Google is so fucking free. Well, you know, you need internet. You probably have a phone. If you have a phone, you probably have... Fuck. Okay, technically, I guess it's not free. All right. To get the... You know what? Go to a library. Go to a library and Google it. I lied. It is free. All you had to do was look up the laws in California. That's where Chaine lives. Under California Penal Code, Section 261.5, Subdivision A... I sound smart reading that. Unlawful sexual intercourse is an act of sexual intercourse accomplished with a person who is not the spouse of the perpetrator, if the person is a minor. For the purposes of this section, a minor is a person under 18 years of age, and an adult is a person who is 18 years of age or older. You know that thing in your head? Fucking use it. So fucking dumb. I just... Oh my god. And to all the women who heard Chaine's barber analogy and heard him express his thoughts on women and what they bring to the table, but you still like simp for him, girl, get up. He thinks you're less than him simply because of your sex. What the fuck? He can't be that hot to you. He simply cannot. I cannot imagine a woman so beautiful and she says to my face that she hates me, or I guess she sees me less than her because of my sex. I no longer find her attractive. There's no way. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm crazy. What do I know? You know, I bet even if Ashlyn made a good video, there still would be so many supporters for Chaine after, you know, after hearing the barber analogy, and he literally just said he thinks women are less than men in front of a couple hundred women in that live stream, and they're all I won't lie, I did see like maybe one or two girls say what the fuck, but every other woman was like, oh my god, you're so hot. All I know is that if she made a good video, the amount of women who would be defending him would definitely be less. Okay, it would definitely be less. Maybe not by a huge margin, but I know for sure it would be less. Okay, this is basically the end of the video, but I wanted to talk about how everyone involved just wanted to bring each other down no matter what. Ashlyn lied about Sofia's intentions and who she was. Chaine was responding to a lot of DMs and actually sending some to other people too about the allegations that Ashlyn brought up. The weird part was that Chaine, it seemed like, you know, maybe he did talk to some men, but I saw 0 men come out and say that they had this information from Chaine, isn't that? It just seemed like every single person who spoke about the situation saying, oh, I spoke to Chaine and he told me all of this, and all the screenshots of Chaine talking to people, they're all women why is he only talking to women? What the fuck? Maybe that's why he didn't reply to my DM. Yeah. You know, when I had no facial hair on Twitch, I had a lot of transphobic individuals come into my chat think I was transgender. I can pass. Maybe if I shave, maybe cover my chest a little bit. A lot of the women that Chaine was talking to when they were in Ashlyn's comment section saying, actually I spoke to Chaine and he told me the real truth. Never provided the real truth. I don't know why they decided to say that shit. The only woman who helped Chaine out was his greatest defender, Sofia. I mean, she debunked Ashlyn's ex-girlfriend claim, and that was fucking massive. But then she shared a bunch of bullshit with me, to be honest. She really only wanted me to talk about how bad Ashlyn was as a person. She specifically said, hold on, where is it? When I was asking for proof, she literally said, for the good of Chaine, for those troublemaker girl, like what if the truth is for, I mean, what are you trying to say? The truth is the truth. The truth has no bias. I mean, depending on the truth you give me, I guess it could be biased, but the actual truth has no bias. So if you believe Chaine is a good person and you have the proof, give it to me. What the fuck are you saying? So of course, you know, I kept it going. I said, I just want the truth. Ashlyn has obviously been lying about some things, which is true. I'm not lying. I'm very curious if she's lying about other things. And then she said, okay, let me send you it. And then proceeds to send me fucking bullshit. She was trying to share information that painted Ashlyn as this very evil individual. She apparently likes to use men and she uses them for sex, and she has sex a lot, and she uses them for drugs, this and that. But there's one main problem here. Not a single one of those DMs were talking about Ashlyn. They were talking about some girl named Jasenia, the minor, and some girl named London. I don't know if the minor's Jasenia or London. I don't know, because she just sent me these screenshots with no context. I don't know who the fuck these women are. So of course I naturally asked, can you help me understand a bit more? Is Jasenia Baby Banks girl? And who is London? Is that the alleged minor in the bed with Chaine? From my understanding, Baby Banks girl's name is Ashlyn. Ashlyn is everywhere. And then Sofia says she changed her names. They all friends, all of them. The fuck does that mean? No, that's literally impossible. She can't change her name to Jasenia and London, and then Jasenia and London can be her friends. What are you talking about? Both can't exist at the same time. So which one is it? Is she changing her name, or does she have friends named Jasenia and London? So of course I asked for a little bit more enlightenment, and she says, let me ask them. I naturally said, ask who? And she doesn't answer my question, and then she sends a whole bunch of screenshots. And these screenshots are not all of them, but some of them are actually screenshots that I've seen from Ashlyn's videos. So I'm like, you didn't ask a single person for these. You just grabbed these from wherever the fuck you had them stored. All these extra screenshots that she sent me were, you guessed it, straight bullshit. Once again, they're talking about Jasenia and London. And second of all, some of these screenshots were the exact same screenshots she sent me in the previous batch. The only difference was they weren't censored this time. I found this one kind of funny because she's asking to censor her name and profile picture. Girl, your name's a fucking period. Ain't nobody gonna find you. What the fuck? You know how many periods are on TikTok? The only actual new information that she provided was, well, actually stuff that Ashlyn kind of covered, but I'll cover it here. She shared information of the minor. Some other girls were talking shit about the minor. For some reason, they quoted minor like, yeah, 12 years old is a minor. Why did you quote minor? But they were saying that while the minor, they're not saying the name. I mean, we can keep the name away. Of course, it's a minor. When they were talking about the minor, they're saying, oh my gosh, she was a 12-year-old fucking whore who was sleeping with older men. She was dating this one guy who was 36 years old, this and that, yada yada. How the fuck is that a defense? How is that the 12-year-old's fault? That's a 36-year-old man. Why? Okay, now, why is our attention focused on the minor? It's not even 17, right? 12 years old, and you're blaming her for being used by a 36-year-old man? Okay, yeah, I don't want to be on this earth anymore. What the fuck is wrong with you? Nonetheless, after all these screenshots, she said, and all those girls are 4 of them. They are friends. Okay. Gotcha. So they're friends. The minor, Jasenia, London, Ashlyn. All 4 of them are friends. What the fuck does this mean? This doesn't give me anything. Who fucking cares if they're friends? This has absolutely nothing to do with Ashlyn, dude. What? I'm telling you guys, this video was terrible. Fucking terrible. It's 3 in the morning. I've been recording for 5 hours because I'm scrambling with all this nonsense. I mean, to be fair, I've been going in and out. I had stuff to do. But in some of these screenshots, I don't know who these women are talking to. That's like a very important portion here. Who's getting these screenshots? Why are we talking about London? Why are we talking about Jasenia? I mean, Ashlyn never brought up her friends. I don't even know if those are actually her friends. I'm not gonna say they are. So who are they talking to? Well, in some of these screenshots, it really seems like they're talking to Chaine. Maybe not all of them, but some of them for sure. Because the way he types like he's fucking dumb. So it's very easy to connect him talking to the 15-year-old girl and him talking to these women here. It's just the way he types. He adds the extra letters, especially in horny and hold on, what's the other one? And then he adds extra holy moly, and of course he's saying like they lying on my name for real. It has to be Chaine. Who else would they be lying on? Like, also, Sophia, if you watch this video, I doubt it. Why'd you follow me? Why'd you follow me on TikTok? I didn't say I was gonna help you. Anyways, the moral of the story here is that Sophia was also one of these people just spreading straight lies, trying to get me to make a hit piece on Ashlyn. I mean, unfortunately for all 3 of you, Ashlyn, Chaine, Sophia, I can talk shit about people without lying, okay? Believe it or not, that is possible. That's all I got for you guys today. I love you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. And remember, practice what you preach. Stop lying. Come on. Bye.